Welcome to our DeFi update. We cover the latest developments so you can stay informed on the top highlights. I'm Cameron, your host and the founder of Coin and Token magazine. Please help sponsor our work by liking, sharing, subscribing, or even buying our magazine. Now on to the show. What's going on, everyone? Let's jump straight into the show. Ethereum to the USD. Right here we're looking at the 1 hour chart. This is over the past month. As you can see, we've had a big rise this month with Ethereum. Quite a few factors going into that. I mean, in general, the whole crypto space has been gaining steam this month, rising steadily. We did have, so at the beginning of the month, we did start out at about the low 380s, or the high 300s. And then it seems about the middle of the month we started cresting up until the higher, almost to mid 450s, 460s, 480s. We're climbing, and then we just had great momentum around the 20th to the 24th. Man, we had a huge gainer on that period, and you're actually going to see this happening. How this translates over onto the 1 day chart and also onto the weekly chart as well. So stay tuned for our daily and our weekly chart. And as you see, the spread on the EMAs were pretty slim. I mean, between the 4th and the 9th, as you can see, we had a little bit of a gainer there in the spread. But I mean, trailing right after that, the spread was pretty tight. Slight bump around the 17th, and then boom! I'm telling you, right after the 19th, just huge spike, and then we did have that sharp sell-off on lower in the month, and then as of now going into December, I mean, it's leveled off a little bit, but still pretty consistent. What does everyone think? Do you think that we're going back down with the hourly, or it's gonna trade sideways? But so far, yeah, I mean, pretty healthy right now. The markets are pretty healthy, and but let's go into the daily chart now. So okay, so now we're looking at the ETH USD 1 day. As you can see in the beginning of the month, as you know, trading a little sideways at the beginning. We're seeing that slight steam that did roll over. We talked about a slight bump in the hourly chart that did translate over in a similar time frame. If you're looking here between the 4th and the 9th of the month. And then it was still steady climb. As you can see, we had great momentum above the 90-day range, and then boom, you can just see that spike around right on the 19th to the about the 24th, and then we did have that sell-off, but it did gain steam to trade sideways. So I mean, we're still healthy over the 90 and the 30-day. Okay, and these are just the two metrics that are pretty conservative across the space here. So again, this is just to give a timestamp, just a monthly timestamp. Now onto the weekly. As you can see, the month of November here. I mean, this is just another snapshot, a week over week. But still trending upward. I mean, we still have a good trend here right after the 16th, even though I know in the hourly and in the daily charts, you know, we saw some sell-offs and trading sideways. But the week over week, still looking pretty healthy, good gain. Still plenty of spread between the 90 and the 5 there. And also on top of that, still healthy above the 30. So could there be some more steam to gain? Who knows? A week over week, you know, hedge appropriately and adjust your limits as well. But yeah, week over week doesn't seem too bad. Still healthy, trending upwards. We're at, you know, at this time it was trading at 589, and this was on December 2nd, 2020. So but that's it for ETH Weekly. Now, let's look at Uniswap to Ethereum. So in the beginning of the month, we had a good big downtrend, big drop off, big sell off. And then starting right after the 4th, it looks like about the 5th to the 6th, we did have some big gainer, actually. Big, huge gainer in the hourly over that course of the day. And then market was healthy. As you can see, the 30 or the 5 days trended, was way below the 90-day, way below the 30-day, and now a big trend upwards above both of those on the trend line here. Trading a good steam upward, a steam climb upwards, healthy, but traded decently. Then as we get into the middle of the month, we had that big gainer right after the 12th. It looks like on the 13th it had a huge trend go up, and market started to sell off. Looks like the market participants and a little scared of that price. It topped out, and then you have seen a very healthy drawdown lasting right after that high, right before the 16th. I want to call that probably the 14th, the end of the 14th going into the 15th, and definitely by the 16th we just saw a healthy decline. That's when the 5-day EMA is starting to move down now. As you can see, it just plummeted to below the 16th. Below, after probably the 17th, it just plummeted, kept going, rolling steam all the way until the 19th, and then we see a big trend upwards there. Boom, got healthy, trended down, big trend upwards, quick reversal. Then we had a downslide of the EMA 5-day. Then we had a huge spike up. Look, we had a huge sell up and then some sell offs. But that's all we have for today for the Uni and Ethereum. Thank you. On to our next. Now on to ChainLink. ChainLink to the US dollar. Okay, ticker is LINK if you do not know. Okay, so at the beginning of the month, trading sideways. And around 11.5, trade sideways, had a slight spike in the middle of what looks like the 3rd. Then we had a huge sell-off leading into the 4th, and then as you can see, the 5-day was way below, deep below both the 30 and the 90. And we had a huge ramp up going over the 4th, I'll call it the 5th, and leading into the 6th, 7th, 8th, and then probably topping out on between the 7th and the 8th, and then we saw a big sell-off going into the 9th. Actually, probably the lower of the end of the 7th, probably, and then probably a huge sell-off, and then temporary. That was just a temporary correction. Then it starts to trade sideways, but with a slight upward trend, and then we had a downward trend. It looked like, with some sell-off, and then boom, we hit that spike in the middle of the month. Look at that. Do you see that on the 16th? Starting on the 16th, at the beginning, probably the wee hours of the morning, as they say in England. And then as we go up here, good Lord, do you look at that? We had a good trend going up on the EMA, the 5-day there. Boom, stays held, big spikes, a little of a sell-off on the 19th. After the 19th, we got a healthy trend upwards though. Boom, we had some spikes, some bumps around the 30-day EMA. We did top out with, that looks like what, on the 20th, 21st, we had a going up almost to 55, slight sell-off, and then we go more trend line, more big trend, all the way up until the 25th, and then we had a downward trend for the rest of the month, and but now we're back to the 13s. Thank you very much.